Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 with another car build on the Rally Adventure expansion. We're going very modern. The Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. It's not quite the fully fledged V8 monster that is the CT5 Blackwing, but the CT4 ain't bad. It's sort of like M3 to the M5 in that respect. And it's bloody brilliant. I love this thing. It may have a V6 engine, but it is an extremely capable V6 engine. And we can actually get it, unlike the CT5, into A-Class while having the parts that are really helpful. So yeah, good stuff all around. We don't really need horsepower. Out of all the things we're lacking, that is not one of them. Problem is weight. We can get it down to 3,500 pounds, which is good. That is definitely not bad. We'll leave all that stock. The transmission should be pretty good. It is modern. I would imagine it's not gonna be an awful thing. Oh, too much to ask for. Okay, but I can do that. And then maybe a drive shaft. Nope, that is absolutely maxed. 485 horsepower. Good. 465 torque. Good. Semi-slick, massive tires. How big are my tires anyway? I don't even remember. I forgot to upgrade my tires. Hold on. Abort. 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 I have made a miscalculation. Oh, this is really annoying. What if I want to get rid of my weight. I like my weight. I like the lack of it. Shoot. What if can I add weight? Or add, there we go. There we go, that works. It's got manual ride. It should be fine, I think. That's better. We got proper size tires now. And we have 472 horsepower, 444 torque. 3,500 pounds, not a great power to weight ratio, but it is a very modern car, and I think it's gonna struggle. Yes, it's got decent sized tires. Yes, it has nearly 480 horsepower. I just think it's too average. Only one way to find out, though. The CT4 Blackwing has to beat the Alpine A110. That did a 240.6. I don't think it's gonna do that. The Alpine is almost half of the weight of this. And it has, what, 200 horsepower? Isn't that what that had? So, yes, half the horsepower, but half the weight is super important on this course, as we have found out. There's only one way to see how this does, and that's to give it a fair thrashing around this course. If it can get into the mid-242s around the pace of the LC500, I think it'll be doing pretty well. But I don't think it's going to have the pace. Brakes are really good on that first. Yeah, the brakes are phenomenal. Okay, that is the nice thing about having a modern car. We've been dealing with old cars for quite a while. I don't know what our last new car is. I guess it was the Amira that was the last modern car, and that was sort of disappointing in all honesty. So it is nice to have something that actually has real brakes. Well, it wanted to be a Cadillac V, I guess, and just decided to drift the entire corner on semi-slicks. I just turned into sharply lost back end, and it just kept losing it and losing it and losing it. That is A-line. I am kind of perplexed by this vehicle. There are times where it's really good at turning in, but I think the back end is letting it down slightly because it has really good turning. But it does just want to step out. You can see there, it does just want to step out through the corners. I like how it drives. It's really grippy. Question is it too compromised? Is it too heavy to really be any good on this course? I think it's going to be too compromised. It's not as fast as the Auto Union or the Alpine. The Alpine was a rocket ship because of the aerodynamic body and the 200 horsepower. And I don't think it's going to have the same acceleration as those lightweights. And I also don't think it's going to have the same cornering G as, say, the Lotus, for example, because it is a four-door Cadillac sedan. Be a little cautious here. We might as well push it. I say cautious. We should probably be pushing it because we've already screwed up this run. So we're not going to actually have a decent run here. We can just about be flat out. Just sort of trying my luck, seeing what sticks and what doesn't. A surprising amount of stuff is sticking, by the way. You can't normally carry that much speed through that corner. So this is really nice to drive. That also might mean it's really slow. Sometimes it feels like a car is nice to drive and it's really fast. In actuality, it's slow. And sometimes it feels really slow, but in actuality, it's just really fast. Think of the... God, it was a Maserati IndyCar. Yeah, you see, that was a fun run. Really nice on the second half. But a 248 is bad. Really bad. But we're going to try and clean it up, be a little braver, be a little more consistent, and we should see that time fall quite a bit. Attempt number 2 is going to be no funny business. We're not going to drift around corners, we're not going to cut into the grass, we're not going to do anything stupid. It's just going to be a nice, sensible run for a nice, sensible four-door sedan that happens to have 472 horsepower. Alright? That's really good corner speed. 73 miles out to that. You need to leave it in third. That's a little note for the final run. Leave it in third there because it can carry so much corner speed through that first corner that I actually don't need to downshift. Okay. So if it's really good through the corners, like scary good, I guess we're just losing time on the acceleration because of the power-weight ratio, which I say power-weight ratio, it's just that that initial acceleration out of the corner. 3,500 pounds is, what, nearly 2,000 pounds heavier than the Alpine. The Alpine was 1,500, so actually, if the Alpine was 1,500, so this might actually be legitimately a ton heavier than the Alpine. That's a transition and a half. Okay. Cleaner. Now we just need to be a little braver, but bank in this one. We'll save the absolute no hold back. Whoa, that's very late under brakes. How we got that stopped nice and easily, I have no idea. I thought for sure I was going to go into the wall, but the brakes on this are phenomenal. I missed that apex by a mile. As soon as I turned in, I realized I missed it. Yeah, the brakes are incredible on this car. Have I built a good A-class sedan? Is that even possible? Oh, you can't... The brakes are good. They're not quite that good. You can't quite go flat out over the jump. It gets unhappy with you. It was worth a shot. We didn't really hit the wall. We didn't lose too much time. We lost probably a few hundredths, in all honesty. Just by the nature of that corner, that's going to cost us a little bit more. A little close. Bit of a scruffy end to this run. Really good start. But a kind of scruffy end. And like we saw with the F-150, it's really not that fast. Having a lot of horsepower is apparently not the secret to a high top speed, because this is slower than the... Nice and control. I'll finish that sentence when I'm done. It's slower than the, wait, hold up. Okay. We're better. Yeah, 245. It's not good. I mean, it's slower down the straights than the Honda CRCT. I did get that sentence out, I promise. We're 5 seconds off. And that was a pretty clean run. I might be able to get a low 245, but as it stands, it's a pretty bad time, as I feared. This is it. Do or die. I just don't want this thing to be last. I quite like the Caddy. It's lovely to drive, but as I suspected, it is not fast. In fact, right now I think it is last on our standings. It's right up there with the Corvette C5. The issue with these cars is that fundamentally Forza's physics engine is not really designed for them to do well. It just isn't. Forza wants you to get a car from decades gone by, tune it up to the max, usually with an LS swap, and then you will have a perfect power-weight ratio. You'll have lots of grip because tires are weird in this game, and you will just decimate everything. If you look at the OP cars, chances are they're lightweight, older vehicles, not brand spanking new cars like the Caddy, because these things are just too good handling out of the box. That's the issue, if I'm being honest. So yeah, disappointing. But we can carry mega speed through there, that is good. Or we just need to be perfect, really. That's all I'm trying to do, is be absolutely spot on. The opening wasn't perfect by, Forza eSports standards, but it was fine. It didn't really have any huge issues. And then that section back there was really solid, almost a little bounce on the landing there. But we made it work. Got on the brakes nice and late. I love the brakes on this thing. It may not be quick, but my god is it easy to drive. Probably because it's not quick, but it is just so controllable. You have so much confidence in this thing. You can brake as late as you need. And you get on the power super early. It doesn't have huge tires, 295s on the rear, but again, only 470 horsepower. So it is a pretty solid power delivery system. That was a phenomenal canyon section, by the way. This is going to be a seriously quick time. A little cautious through there, if I'm honest, just because I was kind of out of position, if I'm being flat. So better to be safe than sorry. But again, is this really smooth, really clean run actually fast? No, it's not. Look at the time. It's kind of abysmal. I just hope it's not last, that's all. And then brake late. And then turn in. Come on, come on. It's going to be an improvement. It's into the 244s. It's not last. Thank God. 244.5. We shaved another second and a bit off. But yeah, it's way down there with the Auto Union. It's much nicer to drive than the Auto Union. But it is not fast. It's just not. Well, that's exceptionally disappointing, but again, it's just too good from the base get-go that you can't build it to the way that Forza likes you to build cars. But hey, it was easy at least. That, though, will be it for this episode of Forza Horizon 5. We'll be back with more